Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. St. Patrick's Day is just 4 days away and the revelry has already begun. It starts, however, with tradition and for many families, food, and community. That's where our conversation begins in this week's segment of A Dash of That with Martina Yvette Allen. She joins us now with a very special guest, none other than the man of the hour, Savannah's 2026 Parade Grand Marshal, Marty Hogan. Thank you so much for being here, the both of you.
Thank you for having us.
And you're both wearing green, and you brought your entourage with you today. Okay, so tell us who's with you behind the scenes.
I actually have my wife, Colleen, my son, Colin, my cousin that just came in from Ireland, Paul, and my man, Richard, from part of the adjutant staff.
Wow, a full studio, so the pressure is on for me, okay? So before we get into the food, let's talk about your relationship, because you have known Martina for many, many, many years through your wife, since she was a kid.
Yes. She actually was a third grader when my wife taught at Notre Dame Academy.
Yes.
And we didn't have children at the time, so they were our children. So I spent a lot of time with these kids. And just to see Martina, after all these years, what she's become, I'm just so proud of this girl. I love you.
Oh, look at
So
and look at her, the one doing this, the one doing that.
So you must have read my notes, because I was going to ask you how, and you must be so proud of her. So now I will ask you, with him being the Grand Marshal this year, you must be so proud of him.
Very much so. It's almost as if like you just seeing somebody's dream comes to life. Matter of fact, this was a kind of just an honest conversation of just us talking and just conversing in November, and then to see everything come into fruition is so wonderful.
It's
so
wonderful.
To be here is great.
It is great. It is great. Okay, so now we'll talk about the food.
Yes.
And you both agree that this place that we're about to discuss, Noble Fare, is one of your faves here in town.
Yes, absolutely. So I will say this was actually my first time going to Noble Fare.
Okay.
So it was a great turn of events of actually just finding out what most of our locals love. So having Mr. Hogan actually suggest the restaurant, make the reservation. Actually, this was the first time I didn't have to plan anything. It was great. Yeah. I just showed up. So it was a very beautiful dining experience, a great family fare. I love the camaraderie between him and Chef Patrick, and also his wife Jenna. It was a very great time together.
So I read that this is your go-to place. Like you book this place for reservations for anniversaries and birthdays, and you just go maybe twice a week.
It is, because it's one of the longest surviving ones that you could say. There's a few, but Savannah has developed into a quintessential cuisine place in the last few years. Yeah. That might be a whole different segment to do another restaurant, because I have a lot of great restaurants that I go to.
Okay, come back anytime.
But I just had to look at one that I've been to since, for over 2 decades, and consistent. The food is good, the people are great, the staff is great, and it's just, right down in the middle of downtown.
So your wife describes this as a hidden gem off the beaten path.
Yes,
true?
And that's true. So it is something that, and it's really interesting. That whole strip of Jefferson Street has a plethora of different family mom and pop restaurants, with Noble Fare being one of them that basically focuses on French cuisine. And so having that in your own little backyard just to venture to, it's quiet, it's quaint, it's a very quintessential restaurant. It just gives like a ode to like just peace and tranquility while you're dining. Yeah,
and behind the scenes, they're actually doing the work in the community. They quietly support local schools and community events as well.
Yeah, so they actually give back to a lot of different schools, very secretly, a very great couple that wants to be able to support their community. And they also do that not only behind the scenes with donations, but also within their cuisine by also sourcing local products as well.
So I read in the notes that the Hogan and McNamara families have a bond. Tell us about that.
We do. It's just because of our also last names. Or Jenny also, she also has some Dane blood in her.
Okay.
And my mother is half
Look at the smile.
So it's not all Irish, but it is Irish this week. But the Scandinavian like ties. The McNamara's are just great family. Our children went to school together, all through Blessed Sacrament and through Benedictine. And their youngest daughter is through St. Vincent's now. We just always had just a relationship where we always picked up where we left off, and and it's great being friends with people like that.
Yeah. Tell me about the number 777. What is that?
So 777, like I said, this is lucky day. So Chef McRama actually started the venture of the restaurant July 7th of 2007. So that is basically how it started. It actually was a previous owner, and you can correct me on the name for the first owner. But the previous owner actually gave it to the family, and now they have basically made this restaurant one of their own as well.
And the chef was drawn to cooking because of necessity, out of necessity. He
Out
was
of
so
necessity.
busy doing other
Right.
things that when he came home, he didn't have dinner.
Absolutely. So he actually says that his claim to fame is actually reading La Technique, and that was a book that he was giving, and he learned a lot about French cuisine from there. He learned about cooking skills because he was a very active child. So he was like, I need to cook for myself. So that's how he learned his trade. And as you can tell from the food and what we tasted, I mean, goodness, this is actually a really great restaurant. Now we know why New York Times gave the opportunity to highlight it not too long ago.
Okay, speaking of food, let's finally get into it. Enough about us. Let's look at the food. What is this?
So this was definitely my favorite dish. This was the scallops. So as you can see, the presentation is one's to be desired. It's really good. So I love the process of it. He said he heats the pan up to almost the consistency of melting a horseshoe. Is
What?
his quote. So the caramelization that you see is one that is only on the top. It also has a haricot verns in it. It has some cannelli beans. It's a really fresh dish. I really love the caramelization process, and also it's aided by the specialty finishing sauce as well.
Okay, so what about this next dish?
I'm going to let Mr. Hogan talk about that because that's his favorite.
Is this your favorite?
Well, everything on the menu is, but I had to just settle down with one. But this is also, if you see on the top, it's a frog raw that is just so delicious, and I did share it with Martina.
Did you?
And then you have that duck. It's just so succulent the way that they prepare that. Sometimes I'll ask for greens underneath, and they're so accommodating. But there was like a risotto, and it just with more or less like a mushroom taste to it. I just eat. You just put it in front of me and I eat it. So I can't get into it like she does, but it's a gorgeous dish, and I just love everything about that.
All right, it looks delicious. Now, what do we have next, Jeffrey? Oh, what is this?
So I am a bone marrow snob.
So
I
am I.
love bone
So do
marrow.
I. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right, there we go.
So this bone marrow here, it was succulent, it was juicy, it had the right bit of just enough of the fattiness to it, and then it's also soaked in with those crostinis. It was just perfect also with the drizzling sauce, and you could tell that's a beautiful picture. Like I'm still thinking about that bone marrow as well.
Okay, so you didn't have a chance to taste the creme brulee, but they do have dessert.
They do. So as you know, I love technique. It's one of my favorite things for the chef. So the really cool thing about their creme brulee is that they use a traditional French way of doing it. So instead of doing the water bath, they actually bake it in the oven at a very low temperature. And so it takes almost 24 hours to make.
Wow.
So I'm really excited because I'm going to hold chef to his word that I'm going to learn how to make this because I'm really excited about learning this particular
As the
technique.
Grand Marshal chuckles.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a man of his word. It'll take you 24 hours to learn it.
Hey, I got it.
Martina Grand Marshal Hogan, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Noble Fare is located at 321 Jefferson Street. The dining hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 5:30 until 9:30. Reservations are suggested.
Yes.
Call 912-443-3210. Now, you can watch this interview again anytime by going to our website, wsav.com/Martina. Stay with us. We'll be right back.